Good morning and oh, happy day. I'm so excited about this. This is very different than anything that I've done before, but it's something that's been on my mind for a long time. So let's get to it. My name is Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Thanks for visiting my page, and please take a minute to like the video if you do and to subscribe. Now, this small gift bag with the dots that's in my right hand, that is what I want to use for my cover. And what I was trying to figure out there as I was going through all those padded envelopes is, do I want to pad the cover? But I don't think any of those envelopes are going to work. So I guess what I'm going to do is just use this gift bag that my son tore. I was going to save it. I'm a total reuser of gift bags. They hardly get used and abused when we get a gift in them. So I generally do reuse them. That's just the kind of girl that I am. But this one got torn. So I'm going to use it, recycle it, recreate it into a book cover. And this whole project, this whole thing has been inspired by a new page that I've discovered here on YouTube, and I've been just soaking up her videos. I don't even know the woman's name. I can't find it in the description of her channel, but the name of the channel is Thrifty Day, and I will give you the link to her channel in the description of this video because she's fabulous. So go check her out. So anyway, I don't do a whole lot of bright and whimsical, but I love it. I've said that recently, or I've said that in the past, that although I don't create a lot with bright and whimsical, I do love it. So my challenge for this for myself is to do bright and whimsical. And this torn gift bag came at the perfect time because it is bright and whimsical, not vintage and distressed. So it's challenging me to do all those things. So, and the timing was just perfect with me finding Thrifty Day because of the kinds of things that she does is along those lines. Okay, so I'm just cutting the bag down to a size that works, and my cut lines with the scissor are messy, so I needed to get rid of those messy cut lines. I'm just testing there to see if I use a standard 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and fold it in half, is it going to fit in here? Yes, perfectly. So I'm going to glue down these folds that make the gusset on the bag. I'm going to glue them down. Well, I just did. They just need a little time to dry, and then I'm going to cover them with some washi tape and then put decorative paper or cardstock paper on the inside covers. While that gusset is drying from the tacky glue that I used on it, I'm going to start putting together the signatures. And again, I'm going for bright and bold and whimsical. Some of the papers that you're seeing me flip through are so beautiful and so soft and vintage and girly, but they're too vintagey for me. I want bright and bold. So you'll see I pick papers with floral hearts, cupcakes, stripes, polka dots, lots of patterns. There is that floral, but again, I feel like that's really whimsical, not vintage. So I'm going to use these in the book with the colored cardstock that I just put aside. We're going to use a combination of the two. So I'm going to take a few minutes to prep these pages, as you can see, cutting off the strip that has all the information about the cardstock and then cutting them down. Most of them I cut in half directly 6 inches so that I have 6-inch pieces to put in with the 8.5-inch pieces. But there are 2 pages that I cut a little bit different, just because I thought it would be nice to have some variety. So I cut, instead of cutting at 6, I cut at 6.5 inches. So you'll see that. I'll show you that here in a minute. So this is just the process of preparing all the pages for the signatures. I'm going to have 2 signatures in this book, and I chose all cardstock because I want to build on these pages, and I'm going to be gluing a lot of things down, stapling things down, and I need to have heavy paper that can handle that kind of work. There we go. There's that 6.5 inch. So that we have 2 different sizes there. I've been speeding up these videos just to give you guys a break from the longer drawn out lives, which I love doing because I get to connect with you. The Friday video that I've been dropping on YouTube, I've been dropping it as a premiere video, which means, well, it's new content. And although I've used the speed up option to make it a little faster for your benefit, so you're not sitting through in real time while I cut papers and cut bags, the premiere part means that when it hits the YouTube channel, it appears to be live, although it's pre-recorded, but I am live in the comments. I always make sure to be there in the comments so we can chat about the project, chat about your day, chat about just getting to know you better, which is really important to me. Okay, so here we start. Getting the signatures put together. We got to fold all these pages. This does take a couple of minutes, so just sit back and relax and watch. What you're going to see happen in the next few minutes of the video is I'm going to prep these pages for the signatures while that glue is drying, and then I go back to the cover and work on covering the inside parts of the book cover. And I had to deal with the handles, those black handles. I want to keep them. I think they're really interesting. I love the fact that it shows that it's a gift bag. So you'll see me fumble around a little bit and try to figure out how best to do that when I get to the gift bag cover again. And then I do put some eyelets in, and so you're going to see me putting some eyelets in where the gift bag handles will be repositioned onto the book cover once it's done. So sit back and enjoy, and I hope you're here. If you're here live in the comments, I'm here to chat with you. If you're watching this after the premiere video debuted and you're here watching not live, please make sure you say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys and know who's watching and who's enjoying this, or any feedback that you have. I'm totally open to. I decided to offset those half pages so that you can see each of their patterns, and I love that in the signature. And I do a quick flip through, excuse me, just to check and see if I like the patterns and the colors the way they are positioned in that signature, which I do. I can't wait to sew them in. I'm so eager to get this book done in its entirety, because what I'm going to do with it is different than anything I've ever done before, but I'm super excited about it. Inspired by Thrifty Day, that YouTube channel, because I've been wanting to do this for so long and I just haven't. So I think my finding her page was the little God wink that says, get into it, Grace, you're going to love it. Okay, so a little fumbly here as I'm trying to figure out what is the paper that I want to use to cover the inside covers. The size was 6 1/4. And remember, I had cut my papers either 6 1/2 or 6 inch. So I had to find the papers that I wanted. And I did not want a big, bold pattern. I wanted either a solid or just a really subtle pattern on the inside. And I didn't necessarily need them to match, but I'm just fumbling through trying to figure out which papers to use. Now, that little fold in the middle, that was the gusset. I decided to cover it with washi tape. I thought that would be easiest, and I have so many beautiful washi tapes. So I picked this whimsical polka dot. I'm going to use matte gel medium because the tape needs that extra support to make the stickiness permanent. And we're going to get that installed on both sides of both sides of it. So again here, I'm using the matte gel medium, it's a Liquitex product, to glue down the papers. Now, This was interesting because I don't know that I've ever glued anything down to a gift bag, but the gift bag did start to curl quite a bit, and papers do that when they take on the wetness of the glue. So it really absorbed the matte gel medium and started to curl a little bit. So I realized I needed more dry time for this gift bag than what I was hoping. So I need to just really set it aside and let it dry after I get everything applied to it. Oh, and I'm sorry right here. I think it was getting late and I was very tired. Didn't realize I was off screen there. But all I was doing was trimming down the washi tape that I just installed, trimming it down to size for the bag. Okay, we're finishing up with the glue and the papers to get this all covered and decorated for the cover. And the glue really soaked into both the cardstock and the gift bag. Like I said, it really absorbed that glue and it feels very wet to the touch, very floppy and very wet. So I'm going to need to let this dry for a considerable amount of time, probably overnight, before I move into using it again. But before I put it aside to dry overnight, I wanted to put eyelets where the holes are for the handles. The holes are already established, so I just followed what was already the hole in the bag to punch holes for the eyelets, and you're gonna see me fumble here. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes eyelets are really hard for me, and when I find a really good quality eyelet that has that serrated edge on the underside, they open up and flower really easily with the Crocodile. But the ones that don't have that don't open up so easily, and I really struggle. And I think I actually had the wrong setting on the Crocodile. I don't use it often enough to just subconsciously know what I need to do. So I actually had to pull out the instructions and refortify in my mind. Am I doing this right? Do I have it on the right side? I don't know if you're like me. I would love to hear in the comments so I don't feel so dopey. Look, it got stuck there. It got jammed in the paper. I definitely had the wrong setting on that little tool. And you're gonna see, I actually cut a little bit of this video part out because I really was fumbling, and I took a piece of scrap cardstock, and because I thought, is this the actual eyelet that's doing this, or is this the tool? So I grabbed a piece of cardstock and put an eyelet through a cardstock but I cut that out because you didn't need to see me practicing and fumbling. Anyway, I ended up going with the big crocodile. I always have better luck with the big one, the really long one versus the handheld one. So you can see there on the lower right of the table, I actually switched over to the other one. I just feel more comfortable, more confident using it. So that's what I went with. Got them in finally. They don't look lovely on the inside, but I don't think we're going to be able to see that because of the handles. As eager as I am to sew in the signatures into this book cover, I really need to wait. So what I do is it's off camera, but I'm going to put everything under some heavy books, even the signatures, to really get those folds memorized by the paper. And the next time we get together, we'll be moving forward with this project. Thank you for being here, everybody.